operations in eTabs. In this video, you will learn to do some basic drawings and perform some common operations in the eTab software. Go to the File menu and select New Model. As discussed in the previous video, set the initial settings for display units, steel section database, steel design code, and concrete design code as per Indian standards, which we will be using the same in all models. In the Grid Dimensions Plan option, under the Uniform Grid Spacing, keep the number of lines as 4 in both X and Y and change the spacing to 5 each in both X and Y direction. This will create 4 grid lines each in both X and Y direction with a uniform spacing of 5 meter in both directions. Change the number of stories to 8. Story height and the bottom story height as the Z directions. So our grid box direction with a uniform spacing of 5 meter in both directions. Change the number of stories to 8. This creates 8 grid lines in the Z directions. So our grid box now has dimensions of 4 by 4 by 8 in terms of number of grid lines. Keep both the typical story height and the bottom story height as 3 for now. If you click the custom grid spacing option, the corresponding dialog box will open. Here you will be able to customize the spacing between each pair of grid lines in X and Y direction when they are not uniform. By default, it is set to display grid data as ordinates. Under this option, the values of position of each grid line with respect to the origin has to be given. If you change it to display grid data as spacing, you can directly give spacings between the pairs of lines one after another. In this exercise, you will use uniform grid spacings. So you need not change any values here for now. Just click on OK. Similarly, if you select the Edit Story Data option, the corresponding settings dialog box will open, where you can customize the spacing between each pair of grid lines in Z direction. Now click on OK. You are going to draw the building model with the help of the grids, so ignore the other templates. Select grid only and click on OK. The software will generate the grid that you have set in a few seconds. Now to make the building model, you will be drawing its elements on the grid one by one. Let us start with the columns. As you get more adept with the software later, you can use the shortcuts on the left hand side pane. Now go to the Draw menu, then click on the Draw Beam, Column or Brace Objects option and select the Quick Draw Columns option. The speciality of Quick Draw option is that if your building model elements exactly coincides with the grid, that is, the Z-axis are the columns, the X and Y axis are the beams, and XY plan sections are slabs. You can use this option to directly place the elements accordingly without having to manually draw or locate the positions. Notice the cursor has changed to draw mode. Be careful not to select anywhere unnecessarily while the cursor is in draw mode, because it will draw the selected element wherever you click. In the left hand side, the column properties dialog box is open, where you can change the define column property and make other settings which you will learn later. You will be drawing the columns for all the stories at once, so select the option All Stories in the bottom right side. Now on the Plan View tab, click once on the upper left hand corner, drag your cursor over the area and release your mouse click as shown. Because you had used the Quick Draw option, the column has been placed at the grid lines intersection running along the vertical lines which can be noticed in the 3D view. Suppose you were using the normal draw option, not the quick draw. Then you would have to click on each point on the plan view where you needed the column to be placed. Now that you are done with the drawing of the column, before clicking anywhere else, press the escape button on your keyboard. You can see that the cursor has changed to its original symbol now. After columns, let us draw the beams, again using quick draw option. Go to the draw menu, select the draw beams, columns or brace objects option and click on the quick draw beams, columns option. Here too you can change the beam properties on the left hand side. Make sure all stories is selected, then click and drag over the building plan area and release as shown. The beams will now be generated over the horizontal grid lines on all the stories as visible in the 3D tab. Suppose you want to delete one set of beams. Before selecting it, you have to exit the draw mode, or else extra beams will get drawn where you click. You can press escape on your keyboard or click on the select shortcut from the left hand side tab. Your cursor will change to normal mode. Now select the beam and press delete on your keyboard. You can see that the selected beam has been deleted on all the floors. If you want to delete only the beam at a particular floor, change the all stories option to one story before selecting. Press undo to get back the deleted beams. Let us proceed with the drawings of the slabs. In the Draw menu, go to Draw Floor or Wall Objects and select Quick Draw Floor or Wall Plan. After selecting the particular slab property, you can drag over the desired plan area to the draw slabs in each XY plan section selected as seen. Just follow the click, drag, release method. Click on the select shortcut to exit the draw mode and press the down arrow key in the toolbar. Each time you click on the down arrow, the story number and the corresponding Z value will change to that of the lower story. The up and down arrows are thus used to navigate between the stories. Now suppose you want to delete the slabs only in story 5. Go to the story 5 using the up or down arrow key, select the slabs one by one and press delete. You can see that all the slabs in the building got deleted, although you were in story 5. This is because you had changed the all stories option to one story. So click on undo to get back the slabs. Change from all stories to one story and then select the slabs one by one. Now if you press delete, only the slabs in story 5 will be deleted as seen in the 3D view. In this way you can go to any particular story to perform modifications on that story only. Click on undo. The slabs in the story 5 will now be restored. To make a cladding on the building model, you have to go to Draw menu and select the Auto Draw Cladding. Select the Use Floors option and click on OK. The software will automatically draw cladding around each floor of the building. The Auto Draw Cladding option draws coverings on the building, which have no self-weight or any structural properties. This option can be used when you only want to facilitate the application of wind loads to the cladding based on exposure of shell objects. If you desire that the self-weight and the structural properties of the walls be considered, you can manually define the wall property and draw them. You will learn to do so the above mentioned task in the upcoming videos. In the 3D model, notice the black colored points on the base of the building. These are the joints, that is the connection of the column ends to the base of the building. The restraints in these joints can be changed. Using the up or down arrow key, go to the base of the building, that is the Z value corresponding to 0. Since the slab in the base are not contributing to downwards transfer of loads, they should be deleted for accurate analysis. Make sure you have set the one story option. If you select the area over the slabs at the base and delete them, it will not just delete the slabs, but also the joints at the position of the columns. In order to select only the slabs, you can select them one by one, but here you have another shortcut. If you select the area from left to right, it will select all the objects inside. But if you select an area from right to left as shown, it will select the objects that your selected area is touching, regardless of whether the object is completely inside your area or not. In this way you can select only the slabs without selecting the joints at the corner. To check whether your selection is okay, notice the selected objects at the left and bottom corner. It is now showing 3 shells and 12 edges, that is 4 edges per shell. It is not showing any joints being selected. This means your selection is correct. Now you can press delete, which will safely delete only the selected slabs. Likewise, you can delete the other slabs at the base. Now that there are no slabs in the base, you can select the entire area, which will select only the joints. You can verify the selection as shown. To change the restraints in the joints, go to the Assign menu, then select Joints, and then select Restraints. Here you can set the restraints in rotation and translation manually, or you can select from the fast restraints as you had seen in SAP 2000. Select the first option under the fast restraints, that is fixed, which will automatically set the corresponding restraints. Then click OK. This will change the joints to fixed joints now. Now you will be applying loads acting on the slabs. Since you are at the base, go to any other floor which has the slabs. Select all stories as you will apply the same loads on the slabs of all the floors. Now click on the slabs one by one. We cannot select them together, like we did while deleting the slabs at the base. This is because there are beams too in the other stories, and selecting like the previous method would also select the beams. After the slabs are selected, you can now assign the loads on them. Let us apply a uniform dead load of 5 kN per meter square on the slabs. In the Assign menu, go to the shell loads and then click on Uniform. Change the load value from 0 to 5. In the load pattern name, you can change the nature of the load from a predefined list of load patterns. Keep it as dead and click OK. You can see that the uniform dead load of 5 kN per meter square has been applied on the slabs in all the floors. In the next model, you will learn about the forces and stresses acting in a beam. Thanks for watching.